I was a kid with shiny wings. When Pearl went up in flames, we watched that whole damn harbor burn. Couldn't do a thing. It seemed as if they owned the sea. From here to God knows where, old Tojo thought he sure was slick, but we could read his mail. Just because they tricked us once don't mean we're easy marks. We saw their trap on that atoll like owls in the dark. Our fleet steamed out to meet them and catch them off their guard. Let's give them what they asked for and give it to them hard. We'll turn the tide at Midway, though it's halfway around the world. They wanted guts and glory, time to pay them back for Pearl. We'll turn the tide at Midway for Wake and Coral too. Keep your hands upon that throttle and do what you're trained to do. We checked our sights and circled high while Midway took the blows. Smoke rose till it blotted out that little strip of stone. Torpedoes went in first, crawling just above the waves. They ran into a wall of shells and vanished into spray. We spent our fuel and half the morning looking for their trail. All we saw were fields of blue and worried we had failed. The radio stayed quiet and the jokes all slipped away. Our thoughts on the horizon and the friends we lost that day. We'll turn the tide at Midway, the way the movies show. But we can't find their carriers and our fuel is running low. We'll turn the tide at Midway, but it's looking mighty bleak. Just a couple dozen bombers are all that's left to save the fleet. Thought of heading back, our last hope nearly dead. Then we finally saw them sitting there, 4 flat tops with no cover overhead. We dropped out of the sunlight like eagles after trout, ammo high upon their decks. Guess they tried to help us out. I lined my sights up at the bridge and gave a rebel yell. That bomb split it like a canyon and dragged him into hell. Hunting season open and they were sitting ducks. Their fighters were still mopping our torpedo bombers up. By the time those zeros turned on us, their porch was up in flames. We ran like deer in late November. They sank beneath the wave. We turned the tide at Midway, somehow managed not to choke. Luck was my co-pilot as I dove into that smoke. We turned the tide at Midway, on fumes and unearned trust, like a gambler going broke who drew a royal flush. We heard about the Yorktown, then still patched from Pearl before, how she took another beating and kept grinding through the roar. They worked the pumps and held their breath, but steel gets tired too, and somewhere out there in the deep she finally slipped from view. We turned the tide at Midway, least that's what they say now. Back then it all went sideways and we hung on through the doubt. We turned the tide at Midway with one long screaming dive, and when the smoke blew clear, some of us were still alive.